guys, I am happy to be back this Monday. I don't know when you're catching this, if it's Monday or some other day during the week, but I'm glad you're catching it. I had something on my mind today, and it was a conversation that a friend of mine and I had. Um, and it just really made me think about people and their different wants in life. And what does success mean to someone, right? So I want to read a little thing that I have. I keep it posted. It's in my pictures and stuff, but it says entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. It's obvious I'm an entrepreneur, right? I've been a health, wealth, and wellness coach for Xyngular for almost, 7 years now. If you're new to my story, I lost 75 pounds in 9 months. I've kept it off for 6 years, and I've coached thousands of people to success. Now, whether those people stay successful, that's up to them, right? But I want to go to the beginning, back before we knew that this was gonna blow up like it did. I don't know if I want to use the word blow up, but I guess it just kind of exploded a little bit, right? So, I'll tell you up front that whatever we've been through, I'm glad we've been through it, right? Because it's made such a difference for our family. I mean, we've made almost $800,000 with Xyngular. And I don't know any other place that I could have done that, even with a college degree in business management or accounting or whatever, right? And that's huge in 6 years, less than 6 years. But there's some things that had to change. And there's some things that we had to sacrifice as a family. And so I was talking with a friend of mine, and she had come on board as a partner, as an ex-brand partner with me. And she's like, I want this. I want the life you live. I want to travel the way you travel. I want to do the things you do. I want to work from home. Like, I want all the things. And then we got into it, and about 6, 7 months in, she just said, or maybe it was about a year. Actually, I think it was a year. She's like, this isn't really what I want. And I could tell she wasn't engaged like she was in the beginning. And I knew something was up because I've been doing this a really long time, right? But when we talked, like, there's no hard feelings. I love this girl to pieces, and she's probably listening right now. But I love her to pieces, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. And I'm glad we got to spend time together. She's not quitting. She's just backing off. She's just not a hustler. Or she just doesn't fit. Actually, I take that back. She is a hustler. She just doesn't want to hustle right now, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But my question to her was, then why did you tell me that you wanted what I have? That you wanted to travel like I do and live like we do and all the things. And she said, I guess I just didn't understand how much you had to sacrifice to be able to make that happen. Perfect sense, right? Makes perfect sense. I am naturally driven. I mean, I was on my own at 16. I mean, yeah, my brother and I lived in our grandmother's house, but mom lived with her boyfriend, in another town. And Nana lived with her boyfriend 2 streets over. There's a story to that. But my brother was 18, I was 16, and we were on our own. Like, there was nobody to make me go to school. There was nobody to make me get good grades. There was nobody to make sure I did my homework or did what I was supposed to do. There was none of that. And so I had to either be a loser or make myself do it, right? Those were the only 2 options I had, because no one was encouraging me to do those things. I got shit from my brother about the boys I brought home, but he never gave me shit about not going to school, we were on our own. I was cooking, I was cleaning. Well, there was somebody that cleaned the house, but I was cooking, washing our laundry, grocery shopping. My mom would stop by and leave a check on the counter, and we'd go grocery shopping and get the things that we needed. It's just how it was. So I've always been naturally driven to take care of myself because I freaking took care of myself. So I think people, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put it all on all the people, because it's not all the people. But there's a lot of people that can't do what I do. They can't just sit down and forget everything else and focus on what they need to do. And I do have somewhat of an uncanny ability to compartmentalize that way, because it's a coping mechanism. It's something that I've learned, like, okay, all this shit's happening over here, but if I'm going to graduate high school and I'm going to get registered for college and I'm going to do all the things I need to do, I got to focus on this and quit worrying about all this over here. Like, I'll get to that later. But it's just part of who I am. I don't know any other way to be. And also, my work is a coping mechanism, right? If I throw myself into work, I don't have to worry about all the other bullshit. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's back up. Let's back up to when I first started this. I had no idea, like, I didn't want to have anything to do with the business, nothing. And I told my friend that, and about 3 months in, I was down like 25, 30 pounds, and I posted my pictures. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm posting this. And you may have heard part of this story before, but bear with me. So, posted the pictures. It went crazy. My phone didn't stop ringing. We grew quickly. I was swamped with phone calls and teaching people how to build this. And there was a moment in time where Danny and I were driving in the car, and I had it typed out to my coaches, okay, y'all, this isn't worth losing my marriage over. I gotta bow out. And I was almost ready to send it, because Danny and I were fighting like cats and dogs. I had no time. I had no time between my full-time job, being a mom. I mean, we had 4 boys here. I didn't, and then coming in my office I would help him cook dinner. I would sit down and eat dinner, and then I would be closed up in my office from 6:30 until it was time to put the kids to bed. I would put the kids to bed, come back in the office until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And then by the time I got done, I was exhausted. I didn't have anything left for him. Not only that, but I was on my own wellness journey, my own weight loss journey at the time too. So it was a lot to balance. Fortunately, I had a good job, and it wasn't a job where I was micromanaged, so I could do some of this stuff during the day, and I tried to on my lunch breaks and on my drives home. But I didn't send that message of quitting, and Danny was the one who stopped me from sending it. And I think at that point in time, we were gold managers. That probably doesn't mean anything to you. But I mean, we were bringing in a significant, maybe, $1,000, $1,500 a month. That was significant for our family. We lived paycheck to paycheck and had 4 freaking kids to feed. So I didn't quit. But we did sit down and we had a conversation about, okay, what needs to change to make this happen? And he also had a conversation with one of our upline's husbands. And what he said was, I make a path for my wife. I do all the things that she needs to get done that need to be done to make a pathway for her to make money, right? And to help other people. And to teach other people how to do this too, so they can make money for their families. So I just make a path. And that became Danny's kind of new motto, is he made a path for me. So there were some roles that changed. Now, mind you, we've always been partners. We've always shared the pant leg of the family, right? There's never been someone that wore the pants over another. And that was something we agreed to early on in our marriage. But there were some things that changed. He became the one, and Danny, I know this benefited both of us and our family, but I can't thank you enough, because I know you're seeing this too. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you were willing to sacrifice, because it wasn't just me that made a sacrifice, and it was our kids too. But, he started doing the grocery shopping and the planning of the meals and the groceries, right? He started cleaning up the kitchen after dinner. Like, we would always do that together, but he would do it and let me come to work. There were just little roles that changed over time that he took over so he could make a path for me to make time for this business. And I think one of the saddest things is that there are so many men that don't believe in this, that don't support their wives. They're like, oh, you go do what you need to do, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do over here. And they don't understand, one, how hard that is for their wives. It's hard to build a business and grow a business, right? Why would you not want your spouse's support? I've watched that happen so much, and it makes me sad for my friends that their husbands aren't willing to help them a little here and there with things, like take on more responsibilities so she can do what she loves. That's the thing. We love this. We're passionate about it because the products worked for us, the coaching worked for us, the program worked for us, and we want other people and our friends and family to feel the same way. But it's hard to do all the things without help. So fast forward a little bit, and the Rona hit, right? Danny was home for, almost 2 years, right, with a full-time job. And Xyngular grew 600% in May of 2020. In 1 month, we grew 600%, which is unheard of. And so he was in a role where he was working at home, but he could also take on a little bit more of the responsibility. So he started doing the back office things, the things that once he was done with his day job, he would pick up this part-time. And he would do some of the things that weren't income producing activities for me, like talking to the people, right? Danny's never allowed to coach anybody, just so you know. And that's how some of those roles changed. And he picked up some of the things, and he still does some of the things. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. But I sit back and I think sometimes, where have the last 7 years gone? I started this almost 8 years, really. Because I'm 48 now, and I started my journey when I was 40. 2018, I walked away from my career as a bookkeeper. So, what have I missed in the last 7 years? I think about that. And yeah, I missed some family time. I missed some homework time. I never missed tucking my kids in bed. I never missed eating dinner with my family. But those in-between times where we could have been playing games or watching a movie or something like that, I worked. And I have yet to ever hear my kids say that they hold that against me, because they knew what we were doing, and they also knew how it benefited them. Like, if we were on our way to Gulf Shores, Alabama on a vacation, and mom could do like 7 calls while we're in the car. I mean, these kids could have recited everything that I said to these customers, like, They could do a call themselves. They could do an info call themselves easily. And but they were watching me work hard, right? But if I could make several $100s on our trip to go, then that was more money we had to spend there, right? More money I had for my family, more money for them, more money for them to be able to enjoy the things that they wanted to do, like go ride go-karts and go to the water park and all the things. Let me talk about what I've gained, because this was 8 years ago. So roughly, well, it's 7 years ago probably. So the little ones were, Jacob and Gage were probably 13 when this started happening. And that's about the time when Jacob was in band, Colin was in band, Brighton was in martial arts still, and Gage was starting swim. I mean, y'all, we got to be at everything. I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss an out-of-town swim meet. We didn't miss a band gig. We didn't miss anything. Now, there were plenty that Danny missed, because he was working full-time and couldn't get away for some of the stuff. But for me, I set my own schedule. And I could put my phone down and concentrate on my kid when he was swimming, and then I could pick up my phone and work while he wasn't. And I think some of the moms wondered why I was so standoffish, or why I always had my nose in my phone. But the interesting thing is, those moms literally watched me lose 75 pounds in 9 months. They literally watched me drop from a size 20 to a size 8. And they watched it all happen over that 9 months in swim when we first started. And I didn't feel bad about bringing my tuna fish to the game, to the swim meet and stuff. I didn't feel bad about that stuff. I did what I needed to do. But I didn't spend a lot of time building relationships there, because I was building relationships through my phone. And I regret that to a degree. But I don't think I missed out on anything. Have I spent a lot of time looking at my phone? Sure. I'm probably going to have that crooked neck syndrome or whatever it is when you get old and you're looking down all the time. I'll probably have that a little bit. But at the same time, there's so many things that we've experienced that I wouldn't have experienced otherwise. I mean, all the trips. It's coming up in our memories right now, where in 2019 we were in Dubai. What the freak? Like today, 4 years ago, we were in Dubai at the top of the Burj Khalifa, 124 floors above the ground. What? Crazy. Wouldn't have experienced all these things. And we wouldn't have been able to take our kids on some really cool trips that we've taken them on. I mean, we were never a family that we were going to be able to afford a vacation at Daniel's Summit in Utah and take our kids snowmobiling for a day. We're not that family, right? We lived paycheck to paycheck. So imagine, on top of your income, right? You take your husband's salary, your salary, and on top of that salary in the last 6 years, you made $800,000. Why the freak wouldn't you sacrifice some time for that? The memories that we've built, the net worth that we've gained, the lack of debt that we have. Can I just say that? Like, other than one house and one car, we have no debt. I don't know many people our age that can say that. And we wouldn't have that without Xyngular. We wouldn't have that without the sacrifices that we chose to make in the beginning to be able to live like we do now. And then I think about some of the other stuff that I've gained from this. Obviously, the friendships that I've gained have been incredible. I have gained some of the most beautiful people in the whole world as friends. I've also made a lot of enemies. That's okay, I'm not for everybody. And everybody's not for me, for sure. I have found myself in an abundance of love and acceptance, and I have found myself floating on an island all by myself. But my best friend said something to me the other day. She's been my best friend since we were 15, and she said something. She said, you have got to, like, not everybody has your heart, right? Not everybody has your type of heart and your love and your loyalty. And she said, you've got to stop thinking that every person you meet is going to be that special inner circle that is going to feel the same way about you as you do about them. She's like, because those people are few and far between. So start getting a little more strict about who you let into that inner circle. And it put a lot into perspective for me, because I think that's what I've been doing. I've been letting so many people in, thinking that's this inner circle, and it's not. These people are business partners. We're not part of an inner circle. They're not people that I would choose to hang out with outside of this business. But some of them are. And some of them I wouldn't have met without Xyngular, right? So it's a win-win. But when you're out on that island alone, it's lonely as fuck, let me tell you. It is hard, hard, hard. And there's ebbs and flows in this business. We are definitely in an ebb these days, but it doesn't mean it's not going to turn around. And even for being in an ebb, I still make more money than I did with a full-time job. So maybe it's not an ebb. And the things that I've gained, the things that I would not have gotten to experience, when my grandmother was sick, I could spend as much time as I wanted to with her. When the dogs were sick, I didn't have to ask off work. I just laid in the floor with them that day. I still got my job done, still got my work done. I still compartmentalized what I needed to handle that day. And I think that's the difference is between me and someone else, is I'm going to be consistent no matter what. I am going to work my business the day that Danny passes away, the day that Danny gets, like the day we have a memorial service for him, whatever it may be, even if it was one of my children. I mean, because there are people depending on me. There are people depending on me to help them because I told them I would when I took their money. And if you don't help people when you tell them you will, you're fake. Like, I don't ever want someone to look at me and go, yeah, she didn't really help me. That would be like my biggest fear ever, right? Aside from sharks. But I would never want someone to turn around and say that I didn't help them or I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So I will always do what I say I'm going to do. Always. I don't care what's going on in my life. My people in Xyngular are a priority for me. And I think that's one of the hardest parts about this too, is you spend so much time. You spend so much time investing in these people, investing your time and your energy and everything in these people. And sometimes you want it more for them than they want it for themselves, but you spend so much time investing in them and then they're like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And you're like, but wait, what? Like, we had a dream. We had a dream together, but it's just part of it. And you have to be able to accept it. And you have to be willing to give that time, knowing that they may stick around or they may not. This business ebbs and flows. But I'll always take care of the people I say I'm going to take care of. I'm always true to my word. That's all I have is my word. Sorry, that was kind of a tangent, but what do I have to gain? talked about time with my grandmother, talked about time with the dogs when they were sick. Oh my God, y'all. I mean, I would not have been able to document so much stuff and take care of Harold, the little bird. And I mean, that's a whole nother show, little Harold. You know, and I wouldn't be able to spend so much time with Toothless, and he's our bearded dragon, and I wouldn't be able to spend time with Mau Mau, or AKA Trump. Can I tell you something interesting? I don't know if I've necessarily given up or sacrificed more than what I've gained. Because it's not about getting to the top of the stairs, right? There's always going to be a top of the staircase, but it's about the journey. It's about the journey to each step all the way up. And I don't think there's ever going to be an end to the staircase for me. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I live, eat, breathe, sleep, and pray Xyngular. It's just what I do. It's what I love. I want everybody to love it as much as I do. God, wouldn't that be amazing? I want everybody to want health for themselves like I do. I'm not perfect by any means. This weekend was a disaster. I ate all the things and everything and all of it. But back on track today. And that's what happens, right? We fall off, we get back up. We fall off, we get back up. I don't understand the people that don't get back up. But that comes back around to my consistency, my motivation, and my drive. I don't know how to give anyone that. I don't know how to teach anyone that. But I can tell you this, I'm looking for more people like me, for sure. People that just have passion about something and they just know they can change the world. This is never what I thought I would be. This was never what I thought I would end up doing. I thought by now I'd be doing real estate. Thank God I'm not doing real estate. No offense to y'all out there, but it is dog freaking eat dog right now. And I would not want to be in real estate right now. And that was my plan by this age. So, recap. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. You know how special it's been to be able to spend this much time at home? Danny and I have worked at home together for almost 4 years. I know he travels more now, but for the most part, we're at home. Some days we don't see each other much because we're both so, bogged down with work, but at the end of the day, I can put it down and I can walk in his office and I can hug him and all's right in the world again. So I asked that question in the beginning is, at what cost have we had success? Has there been some heartbreak and some heartache and some disappointment? Sure. But I think that everything good that has happened overshadows everything that we sacrificed to be here. Hands down. I wouldn't trade it for the world. If I had to do it again, I'd go through the same thing again just to be where we are. Honestly. I don't want to sit in a cubicle. I don't want to work for someone else and build their dreams. I want to build mine, and I want to help other people along the way. I'm in the people building business, and the people are what builds this business. It's that simple. The products are incredible. I mean, you guys have seen, you've watched this over the last year and a half that we've been doing this. I've still steadily been losing weight, right? Working on myself. I'll always be a work in progress. Like I said, I don't think there'll ever be a top of the stairs. I don't think I'll ever have something that I hit that's like I'm satisfied with, because I always want more. But I want more for my family. I want more for my kids. I want to be able to leave this business as a legacy that I can leave to my kids, that they can when we're long gone, they'll still get paid from Xyngular. Can you give your kids that? I want so much more for my kids, for our kids. When I say my kids, I mean all of them, because they're mine. But I want so much more. And I get it. Some people are fine with going to work, punching the clock, making a paycheck, coming home, and doing whatever the hell they want to do. I get it. I was that person until I experienced this, and until I experienced time freedom, and until I experienced a little bit of financial freedom. Sometimes you don't know what you really want until you experience it. So, all that said, to say that if there is an opportunity that comes your way, take it. Why not? What do you have to lose? If it's for you, great. Grow it. Do something with it. Help other people. But if it's not, that's okay too. I mean, we were in an MLM company years and years and years ago, probably 14 years ago. And I mean, we made, I don't know, a couple of $1,000s here and there. And that made a big difference for us at the time. You know, I mean, we were really living paycheck to paycheck and barely making it. You don't have to be scared. We all think that we can't do it until someone breathes life into us that we can. Until we help that first person and they say, I couldn't have done this without you. And then that grows your confidence just a little bit more. And with each person grows it a little more and a little more. And the best thing is to get these messages that say, oh my God, I feel like a new person. I've been struggling for so long. I've been depressed. I've been sad. I've been miserable. And I feel good today. That's everything. So find something that you love that gives you the ability to help people, because isn't that the reason we're all here? We're all here to help someone. You know, maybe your sacrifice is tithing. Maybe your sacrifice is your time. But success didn't come at a cost for me, for us. It came as one of the biggest gains of our entire life. Why aren't you willing to take a chance? Are you scared you'll fail? Okay. I was scared I would fail too. And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. And some of those I wish I could take back, but some of them made me stronger and made me who I am today. I guess I'm just, I don't know if I'm boring you or if I'm just rambling, but there's so much more to life than just punching a clock 9 to 5. There's so much more. So if you have the opportunity, take advantage of more. It can really change your life like it's changed ours. And it's worth the sacrifice. So I'll leave it at that. Peace out, homies. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Please share this with someone. If it rings a bell for you, share it with somebody. I'd really love to have some more followers. Please be sure to subscribe, like, follow, all the above. We'd be super grateful for it. Let me know this is working and people are listening and paying attention. I'm not just out here talking to myself all the time every Monday. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for all your support. See you later.